whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. We'll make you happy.
Hello and welcome to episode 9 of Schools with Heart. I'm Olivia LaField, and as you know, if you've been watching my videos, the mission of this channel is to reach as many teachers and parents in the United States of America and the world as possible with the great news about infusing your classroom and your home with an SEL curriculum that transforms your students and your children and helps you create a happy, peaceful, respectful learning environment. Imagine that. The public schools of America are in crisis. That's the sad but true bad news. But I am not here to talk about bad news. My channel is all about change for the better and hope for the weary. I'm here with answers, with a bright light to snuff out the darkness. I'm hoping you've watched the previous videos so that I'm not only a familiar face, but also a friendly, familial face. The last thing I want is to be an unapproachable, far distant stranger on the internet. I want to connect with you on a personal level. I want us to connect heart to heart. How will you make that happen? By watching my videos, reading my books, leaving me comments, asking me questions, joining my live stream workshops, inviting me to conduct a training with your staff, or even flying to California and getting to know me in person. Trite, but so true. Where there's a will, there is a way. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. And now for today's focus, teaching our students to choose happiness. A focus on integrating happiness being a choice into my SEL curriculum never occurred to me during my 30-plus year tenure as a middle school teacher. Over the years, in retrospect, it's obvious to me that when a particular need arose with my students, I prayed for a solution to the problem. And without fail, every time, God faithfully answered with some new idea, something brand new and transformational. Such was the case with the focus on choosing happiness. Several years ago, the problem arose. I was facing in a trauma school where I was working with a rampant degree of suffering, children that were suffering. My partner, Adam, who is now a principal and a committed SEL proponent, could not get through a lesson without behavior outbreaks that were so serious, I had to help him by taking the kids out of the room. We would just walk around the school. I'm betting that many, if not most of you, know exactly what I am talking about, and it is not happy. So we struggled through the year without much success at all. And the next summer, I poured my prayers into requests for help. And that's when the focus on choosing happiness arrived. My first move was to create a poster. In our poster book, we have when you really think about it, every poster in this book has something to do with happiness. Every bit of the curriculum, the SEL curriculum that I'm teaching you, has to do with happiness. You can take all of it and just encapsulate it into the word happiness, because all of these lessons produce some sort of effect that creates a happy attitude in a child, whether it's self-respect, respect for others. Whenever children are behaving, they're happy. So it's just all about happiness. But some particular posters that we have on our wall, one of them is so cute. It's two babies. Happiness or suffering, you choose. I point to that poster all the time. In one class, I got some photographs of Shirley Temple. She's so cute and smiling, and then there was a suffering child crying. So you can get real pictures. You can buy those online. But if you don't like this one, but you absolutely have to have posters regarding suffering. One very important poster is my friend Abraham Lincoln. I love Abraham Lincoln. We talk about him all the time. And see, this is a clip art from Abraham Lincoln that wasn't copyrighted. We got to find one that wasn't copyrighted. And he says, most folks are just about as happy as they make up their minds to be. And so we really talk about that poster. What does that mean, you make up your mind? Kids don't really understand the power of the mind to make a choice that will change your life. And then here's a poster on choosing happiness. It's not about me, it's about others. And on this one, this is the universe, and in the center it says, I am not the center of the universe. We have to teach kids that they're not the center of the universe. That the key to happiness, if I had to choose one key to happiness, the first one and most important one, it would be make your life all about others and not all about yourself. So when you buy my poster book, you'll get all those posters and you can make your own. So next, I had to create the curriculum, the happiness, an actual curriculum. And these were second graders that I was planning for. So I was somewhat limited with the writing portion. But by second grade, they can write complete sentences. And I devised an activity from which we would make a bulletin board. Their first draft was to write 5 sentences that began with, I choose happiness when, and then they wrote the rest of the sentence. When I obey my mother, when I whatever. Prior to writing, we brainstormed ideas at length on the board, and many of the kids picked their ideas straight from the board. In their first draft, they fine-tuned their handwriting and their spelling, of course with help. And once we approved the first copy, they were given cardstock of their favorite color, and on this copy, it had to be their absolute best because it would be displayed on the wall and parents would see it at back to school night. The next phase of the curriculum focused on suffering. We talked about what makes them suffer and what choices they could make to end their suffering. From that point on, for the rest of the year, whenever problems arose, and they did, we would be sure to ask, what choice can you make right now to end your suffering and get happy? Sometimes that didn't work for a child who chose suffering over happiness, or they were completely out of control and could not make a choice. Those are the deeply wounded children who desperately need our patience and unconditional love. They need time, lots of it. And sometimes it seems like it's a hopeless situation. But we can never give up on a child. Another important element of the happiness focus was reading stories about happiness. Our favorite was The Pig of Happiness, which you can buy. It's a Scholastic. You have to have this. I found so many great ones online. In addition, students set goals to choose happiness. In an upcoming video, I'll show you how our students make journals where they write about the goals that they've set. A really fun part of the curriculum was 2 great songs. Don't Worry, Be Happy, I'm sure you've heard it, by Bobby McFerrin, and Happy by Pharrell Williams. There's a video to go with that too. Fun songs. Perhaps most important of all, though, was the focus on the quote, it's not about me, it's about others. Because there were so many Spanish speakers in the school, I even taught them the quote in Spanish. No es sobre mí, es sobre otros. We taught them that the main key to happiness was to stop thinking about themselves and focus on creating happiness for others. Wow, that is a challenge. I actually wrote a play about it and included a poem called Which Loved Best by Joy Allison. You can find it online. It's fabulous. You can see that we wove the happiness focus throughout the curriculum in reading, writing, public speaking, poetry, music, goal setting, and day-to-day application with behavior issues. Did the overall class culture improve? You bet it did. Did we still have individual students with unresolved issues? Of course we did. But I had created a fabulous sensory room for those students, and that helped the whole school tremendously. So that's the story of my first year focus on happiness. Today, the focus continues to improve. It continues to improve the climate of the school where I teach 2nd through 8th grade. In my book, The School That Love Built, I dedicated an entire chapter to our happiness focus. I believe you can see how easily you too can integrate this essential focus into your own curriculum. Not only is it a fun game changer for the culture of an entire class, and that makes everyone happy, but also it's a powerful heart changer for children who otherwise might never have learned that happiness is a choice. If this video brought you happiness, subscribe if you already haven't. Click the like button. Leave a happy comment and share the video with a happy friend. And don't forget, no es sobre mí, es sobre otros. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.